Welcome back to Why We Buy It. Today we're going to give you our impression of Gothenburg in general, or Gothenburg.
We love Gothenburg. It is such a small town feel in a city, and for me that's absolutely special because I grew up in a small town. And Gothenburg offers everything you could want in a city, but everybody's relaxed and happy.
Yeah, one thing we noticed, speaking with a lot of locals, right, including our cousins
Yes.
who live in Gothenburg, right?
Shout out to them. We love you guys.
Yeah, shout out to Annika and Håkan, right? Now, they all say pretty much the same thing, which is people in Gothenburg are laid back.
Yeah.
They're easygoing. They enjoy life. Not like the people in Stockholm. Okay?
I've never been to Stockholm, so I don't have an opinion on that one.
Now, I've been to Stockholm, but it was so long ago that I can't give an honest opinion, but we talked to multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them were like, Stockholm, they're a bit stuffy, they're a little too business, it's rush, rush, rush. Gothenburg's laid back, have a beer, enjoy the sunshine, take your time.
Mm-hmm.
That's the idea. And we even spoke to one couple from Stockholm that agreed.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, we like coming to Gothenburg because it's laid back.
Yeah.
Because
it's like a vacation
Yeah.
inside Sweden.
they chill out a bit.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. The second thing about Gothenburg you need to know is that it's not really touristy.
No.
It's not a touristy place. It's one of those places that's fun for the locals.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of local things to take advantage of. But for tourists, there isn't a lot of like must-see areas or you gotta have a picture of this type thing.
Right.
Right? So
Like the one thing we went to go see was the fish market, which is very cool,
and the meat market.
and the meat market, and it's like, that's almost kind of like our St. Lawrence market here in Toronto,
Yeah.
but nicer.
Yeah, two separate locations,
Yeah,
right? Instead of
way
having it
nicer.
all in one place, you got to go to two places.
Mm-hmm.
The fish market was kind of interesting for us, partially because cousin Håkan, he was one of the guys that actually worked on the rebuild of it.
Yeah.
It went from being a traditional fish market that you'd expect to see, on a wharf, where there's just tons of fish being sold, right? All the fishmongers, that sort of thing, to a place where you can still buy your fish there, but now it's like select cuts. There's a lot of cafes built within inside.
Yeah, there's like a pub and then like a little tiny sit-in area, like a little tiny restaurant built in.
So you can get like, the open face sandwiches and things like that. So it's a little more upper crust now. And again, that makes it a little more touristy, but really,
Not really.
The design is for locals.
Yeah.
Right? And the same thing with the meat market. The meat market's like visiting St. Lawrence Market here, right? Where it's a lot of delis, high end. You pick your favorite cuts of meat or deli meats or whatever. And again, it's more of there's a lot of places you can order.
Yeah.
Get a sausage while you're there, get a burger or something while you're there, right? It's more of a lunch place where you can also order your deli meats than it is a meat market.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Very good.
again, bit touristy, but really
It's for the locals.
it's for the locals, right? And then, we didn't go there because it was kind of late in the season, even though it was still open and it's not really our thing. We've got Liseberg, which is, amusement park,
yeah.
right? Not really our thing. But that was there. Again, it's really for the locals. It's not for the tourists. This isn't like Copenhagen where you got, Tivoli Gardens, which is really for the tourists and a bonus for the locals. It's the other way around, right? So they've got that. We went on the
Shrimp boat.
which is cool.
You have to go do. If you have a chance to do that in Gothenburg, that was such a cool experience.
Yeah, and that's a bit touristy because you do get to see like the Gothenburg archipelago and that with all the little islands where they've completely they've cut all the trees because that's where they got the original wood and lumber and such to build the old city.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a bit touristy, but again, it's just a fun party too.
It's okay. So this boat cruise, like I'm gonna hype it for a little bit because we've done the boat cruises here in Toronto, and this blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
So first of all, it's all seafood that you're gonna get. So you're gonna get different varieties of shrimp, salmon. A lot of different types of herring, which I didn't realize I was a fan of. But
And Amy did something on this cruise she doesn't usually do.
I don't eat things with faces. So if it has a face and it's looking at me, I usually stay away from it. Yeah. So
Right, the little shrimp.
The shrimps have little faces on it, and I was like, break it.
At first she's like, what do you do? I'm like, you just rip the heads off. Don't even worry about it.
But besides that, I did do it, and I'm a huge fan of smoked shrimp. I love it. But the atmosphere on this boat was incredible, and everyone was engaged, right? They had performers, and
the performers were great.
The performers were fantastic, and the whole boat was just, we didn't know the songs because it's in Swedish.
It's in Swedish, but you still enjoy it.
Right, but you enjoyed it because everybody was up dancing and singing as loud as they can, and it was just, lots of that. But everyone was just having a good time, and it's like when you have it here in Toronto, they'll feed you, you have a nice dinner, and then you're kind of just out and about looking at the views, which are beautiful, but there wasn't that fun, like, get up and dance atmosphere, and that was just such an amazing experience. So if you have a chance in Gothenburg to go on the shrimp boat, I highly 10 out of 10 just suggest it.
It's worth it, and quite easily our best picture, period, from the whole trip came as we came back in to Gothenburg. I'll show it now. We got the picture of the bridge across the docks at Gothenburg and that at night. Gorgeous to see at night, right? Like most cities, the cityscape at night looks fantastic. Something that's another sort of interesting thing for us when it comes to visiting a city like Gothenburg is that as sprawling as it is, and to put it in perspective, Gothenburg is a third of the overall size of Toronto.
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking in, square meters, square miles. And it's got a sixth of the population of Toronto. So it never feels busy.
No.
We took a ride to see another one of my cousins during their rush hour.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
What a joke.
And Hokan's like, oh, man, we're at the beginning of rush hour. And Amy are looking around going, wait, what do you mean?
I'm like, there's like 6 cars on the road. What do you mean this is rush hour? I'm like, no. Rush hour is your bumper to bumper. You're not moving for 2 hours. That's what rush hour is.
Rush hour in Gothenburg is the speed limit goes from 110 to 100.
Yeah.
Like that's rush hour there.
Yeah.
So it never feels busy.
No.
Right? Never feels busy. That's a bonus. But also, the city is short. Okay, to put it mildly, it's short. They have one big building that they're proud of. Yeah. They're like, oh, that's
the tallest building.
The tallest building in Sweden now.
I think everyone knows that.
Right, the tallest building. It just looks like your basic skyscraper, right? That people live in.
But when everything's short, it's impressive.
It's impressive. It stands out because everything else is generally like under 10 stories.
Yeah.
Right, 10 stories is a lot of stories in Gothenburg, so the city feels small. As big as it is, it feels small.
Yeah.
Right? So that was kind of a bonus for us. Something we didn't bring along that I wish we had on this particular trip is make sure you have comfortable shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Comfortable shoes.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to show you my big toe.
No, please don't. It's gross.
Some of you may leave the channel. Okay? Because you're in these old European cities.
We forgot about cobblestones. We totally forgot.
Uneven rock streets.
Yeah.
Right? Gravel areas. Like, your feet take a beating if you're doing a lot of walking. Yeah. And we came back with heavily blistered toes as a result of this. Even though we were wearing relatively comfortable shoes, you need very comfortable shoes when you're walking around Gothenburg or Copenhagen or an old European city like that.
Any European city that has cobblestones, yes.
Right? So that's something you want to be aware of. The prices in Gothenburg, not bad.
No.
Not bad. At least not bad for people from Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay, if you come from somewhere where it's less expensive than what we're used to.
You know what it kind of reminded me of? It kind of reminded me of the pricing we had before the pandemic.
Yes.
Where everything was like it was still higher, but it was reasonably.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? This isn't a place you're not going to Thailand or Vietnam or Argentina or somewhere like that where your dollar goes a country mile.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're not getting jacked like you are in Copenhagen, like we did on that portion of the trip, right? The prices in Sweden were very similar to what we're used to paying here.
Yeah.
And I mean, as like in comparison, it's like, I had a bratwurst. I'll show you the place we had it. It was like $5, right? Which is normal.
Like normal.
Right? For street meat, basically, only this is slightly better than street meat because it's not a cart.
Yeah.
Right? But, it's not a bad price. Beer was anywhere from $6 for a beer at a bar to $10 for a beer at a bar, depending on the style of bar.
Yeah.
Right? A high-end bar, you're going to pay more.
Which is normal.
Yeah.
Right?
Which
at least for us, it's normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Our meals were typical cost of a meal, right? We went out for pizza. It was like for each of our pizzas. It was like single serve pizzas. We'll show them to you, but they were like $12 each, which is normal, right? So you're not going to have to pay too much, but
we weren't sticker shocked as much as we were in Copenhagen.
Yeah, not even close.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Yeah.
And probably the last thing that really stands out about Gothenburg is there's a lot of places where the city doesn't feel like a city. There's a lot of green space in Gothenburg. Right?
A lot like Ontario.
Yeah,
right?
Like check out our video of the Garden Society, right? That's one of the places we went, which was huge. And again, it's green space. Yeah. They have botanical gardens, the edge of the city, again, more green space. And then just even areas walking through the city, there's large areas of green space, right? So it's a very sort of, again, like small town, but a city.
Yeah, exactly. It's a small town feel inside of a city. And that to me is beautiful.
And Amy said this multiple times since we've been back, but it was easily the most relaxing vacation we've had.
Yeah.
Because there are so few things you have to see.
Yeah.
Right? We had days where it's like, what do you want to do today? It's like, let's just pick a direction and go and walk around the city and see what we find. Right? Because there's nowhere you have to go.
Right.
So that was an added bonus.
Yeah, like I told him, I said sometimes when we're cruising, it's like even though you know what's ahead of you for the next day, you're still like, this time we got to wake up and have breakfast. This time we're doing this. This time we're doing this. Or you're on a schedule. It's a relaxing schedule, but you're still on a schedule. When we came back from this trip, I'm like, wow, like I feel like I did stuff, but I'm so relaxed. I'm so relaxed, and it was just such a beautiful feeling to come home like that.
Yeah, right. And we mentioned this in another video. If you haven't checked it out yet, check out the Swedish bars video. But the bar scene in Gothenburg is fantastic.
Here's the other thing too. It's local bars in Gothenburg are busy.
Always.
No matter what day of the week it is. Like we went on a Monday, we went on a Friday, and it was the same. It was just as busy as both days, right? And I'm like, this is what I miss. Yeah. I miss people going out and actually, not getting totally, boozed out, but just going out after work and having a couple drinks and just enjoying the atmosphere.
Yeah,
it's
and each other's company.
And it's just, it's great. And we met some fantastic people.
And keep in mind, we went to your basic local pub.
Yep.
We went to like a cocktail bar.
Yep.
We went to a super high-end like hotel restaurant bar, right, with Dorsia, which you can check out in that video. We went to the Hard Rock. We did a little bit of everything. Yeah. So the other thing about it too is that depending on what style of bar or what kind of nightlife you enjoy, it's there.
Yeah.
And
it's happening.
Swedes are friendly.
Yeah.
So you could quite literally just ask somebody, this is kind of like the kind of place I'm looking for, where should I go? And they're going to give you options.
Yeah.
Right?
They probably go to the pub with you.
Yeah. Let's go. I'll help you order your first few drinks.
Yeah.
It was honestly fantastic experience.
Amazing people.
We will be going back because we have family there.
Yeah.
And the next time we do, we'll clue you in on some even more places to visit, not just in Gothenburg, but elsewhere in Sweden as well.
Till next time, guys, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
You remembered this time.
I did.
Yes. Let's hope you remember, okay? Till next time.